Emily, great to see you.
Great to see you too. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I know our members really enjoyed being able to ask you questions whenever we do this, but today we're going to have ample amounts of time for question and answer, and I know they're very excited.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, I would really love to just kind of start diving into the preview section where you help us to understand a little bit about phototherapy, first and foremost, what that technology is, and how you've leveraged that technology as you've developed and invented LifeWave patches and all the great things that they do for our bodies to support that optimization. Do you mind sharing a little bit of that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to give a brief overview, phototherapy has been around for at least a few thousand years and goes back to ancient India, ancient Greece, using different colors of lights to treat the body of different illnesses. And it's really been over the last 10 or 15 years that phototherapy has been formalized into a science with new information that has shown how light causes biochemical changes in the body. So what our patches do is stimulate the skin with very low levels of light, and this produces desirable changes in the body.
Wow. It is amazing that it's been around for so long and that you've been able to really leverage that amazing science, that amazing technology in such a way to really be able to help our bodies to support how they're designed to work. Tell us a little bit about how you went from understanding a little bit about phototherapy, well, I shouldn't say a little bit, a lot, to inventing these patches. And then how do these patches actually work to do the things that we know they're designed to do?
Yeah, I started back in college. I was pursuing a degree in computer science, management, and biology. And I was interested in finding out a way to develop technology to selectively destroy cancer cells using energy. And later on, I was doing a project for the U.S. Navy through government contractors, a way to improve survivability for the crew of subs. And I wanted to use this experience that I had to find a way that we could improve energy naturally. And it took about 3 years of doing this research, and I finally figured out a way to selectively turn on fat burning in the cell using a combination of different wavelengths of light. So a good way to think about LifeWave is that traditional phototherapy uses single wavelengths of light to improve circulation and do things like improve collagen. But LifeWave is more sophisticated because it's a way of turning on a specific biochemical process in the body, and that's something that traditional phototherapy can't do.
Oh, I love that. I know that's what people get so excited about with the specific patches that have specific uses. And like you said, leverage those specific combinations of wavelengths, right, to do specific things. Can you help us understand exactly how putting a little sticker on us can work? How do the patches actually work with our body? I mean, we're not absorbing anything into our bloodstream or anything like that, right? So can you explain to us a little bit more about how that works?
Sure. The patches contain organic materials. They're things like stereoisomers of amino acids and sugars, and they're processed in such a way so they're deposited on a polyester fabric, and they form nanoscale crystals. When activated by your body heat, will stimulate the skin with very low levels of light. And what surprises people is that this can have an effect throughout the body. So these very low levels of light coming off the patch will stimulate the nerves and the acupuncture points on the surface of the skin. And what we found through doing over 80 clinical studies now is that within minutes, this is going to produce very pronounced bioelectrical changes that are measurable with different types of equipment. And of course, we've also have clinical studies which show that in as early as a day, this produces biochemical changes in the blood and in the urine. So the effects of the patches are measurable, and they're highly significant.
Oh, I love that. I know some people are really interested in the science and want to see what you just talked about there. Like, how do I know that? How do I know that what you shared with us is real? We do have all of our studies published, correct?
Yeah, if people go to the science section of our website, they can pull up our studies. Almost all of them are in English. So apologies to our friends around the globe outside the United States. But yes, that's where we have our studies posted.
I love that. I know that for many, that's such a wonderful thing to be able to reference and know that what we say our patches do, we can prove it as well. I think that's just such a beautiful thing that not every company really is able to say about their products.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really important because when we make a claim about something that our product does, we have to be able to have evidence to support that. And most companies, they might have one clinical study to support a product, if anything. Many nutritional companies in our industry, they rely on other companies to do studies, but we don't do that. We invest tremendous amounts of money in our own research, and when we make a claim about what our products do, we have a clinical study to support that.
Oh, I love that. So I know a lot of times when people are new and just starting to use the patches, they're so excited to learn about how they all work. But I think something really important is for us to share just a quick overview of usage, meaning what are some suggestions how we can utilize the patches in the best way, times, location, and maybe anything within like how we're consuming water or any nutrition that could really make a difference in optimization towards those.
Yeah, sure thing. Actually, let me go ahead and share screen here. And we can kind of start with each of the patches. X39 is a product that can be used either during the day or in the evening, although our clinical studies have all been with using X39 during the day. This is a course used to elevate GHK-Cu, which is a glycine histidine lysine. If people are vegans or vegetarians, it's possible they may not get enough lysine in their diet, since that's often found in different types of meat or dairy products. And also, of course, because this peptide binds with copper, people should include foods that are rich in copper in their diet. Now, one of the best sources of copper is liver. And liver actually has a tremendous number of health benefits. Many people don't like the taste of liver. They don't get it on a regular basis. So I've got an awesome option. Chocolate is very rich in copper. Now, cacao, of course, not the milk chocolate that we get here in the United States. I won't name any brands. Yeah, we want something like dark chocolate, which has the polyphenols, antioxidants, and copper. So we want to make sure we have enough copper in our diet. And of course, with any of the patches, we want to have a diet that's rich in protein, healthy fats, and vitamins and minerals to support creation of new tissue in the body. Our X49 patch elevates, of course, another stem cell peptide called AHKCU, and this is an alanine histidine lysine. And alanine especially, which is used to make the AHK, is found in meat and dairy. So for vegans that are, or vegetarians that are interested in building muscle, improving brain function, supporting the health of their heart, I would encourage them to use an alanine supplement, specifically beta-alanine, and this can support the function of X49.
Can I ask you a quick question about that?
Sure.
I know that, you know, when you're talking about what the patches do and the things that it's elevating, you're recommending some supplements that can be taken in addition. if the patches are elevating certain things, why is it important that we are supplementing or that our nutrition is correct? Why does that matter when it comes to using the patches?
Yeah, we want to make sure that we have the raw materials in our body to make the peptides. So if someone has a diet that is deficient in the amino acid alanine, they're not going to be able to make AHK. So they have two choices. One is they can include foods in their diet that have alanine, or they can supplement with beta-alanine, which is a form of alanine, and this will be used to manufacture peptides in the body, and it's widely available and very inexpensive. So a good way to look at this is that if we get an injury, let's say that someone burned their skin, if we don't have protein in our diet, we're not going to have the raw materials that are needed to heal the injury. And so this is the same thing. We need the raw materials to make these peptides.
Awesome. And the patches just signal our bodies to make them with the raw material we have, correct?
Yeah, the beauty of this is, let's use glutathione as an example. The half-life of glutathione is 7 minutes. So if we were to get an IV of glutathione, the levels would go up and down within a period of about an hour. Now, the rate-limiting amino acid for glutathione is cysteine. So let's say that we're getting enough cysteine in our diet. Eggs and whey protein are excellent sources of cysteine, and we weren't using the patch. That would only give us a very mild increase in glutathione levels. But because the patch is signaling the body to make glutathione, we can elevate our glutathione levels much higher than normal and get detoxification and anti-aging effects that we wouldn't normally get.
I love that. I think that's so helpful to understand, because I think sometimes people confuse because we're so used to taking products to do certain things where our patches are so different, right? It's not just about consuming nutritionals. It's helping your body to do what it's supposed to do and having that raw material in place. Thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And yeah, I mean, just to go through the rest of the patches, the energy patches were our very first product, and they're designed to elevate fat burning as long as people are consuming plenty of water to facilitate energy and detoxification. That would be great in terms of that product. Carnosine is a dipeptide, an alanine histidine peptide, and it's used to improve cognitive function. It supports lean muscle and performance, and also improves the health of the heart. Glutathione, as we were just touching on, is the body's master antioxidant. It's associated with longevity. There's tens of thousands of clinical studies on glutathione now. It's incredibly important. And it's because it's found throughout the body. That'll give you an idea about how important it is to protect our hearing, our eyesight, even our detoxification pathways is what glutathione is really thought of. We have a product for animals called AccuLife, and we've got clinical studies on using AccuLife to relieve pain in dogs and horses. Over the years, we've got some really interesting stories of different types of animals that people have patched with AccuLife. But just know that it is essentially the same as IceWave, but we have it registered and studied for with animals. Eon is a product for reducing stress, and it elevates a liver peptide that activates the primitive immune system, and as a result, it is a broad spectrum anti-inflammatory. So people that are suffering in pain, especially with inflammatory disorders like Parkinson's or arthritis, we're not claiming we treat those disorders, but this is a product that would be great for helping to reduce and manage pain. Of course, stress is something that is closely associated with aging, and Eon is a great product to use either during the day or at night for reducing stress. If you're using it at night, you can find that will actually improve the quality of your sleep. IceWave is, of course, our first pain relief product. It's very simple to use. It's a 2-patch system. So you would simply apply the tan patch to the pain and then place the white patch near it. And people will find that in the first 2 to 3 minutes, 50 to 100% relief of pain. Silent Nights is a product that elevates melatonin, and some very interesting research now is showing that melatonin is an extraordinarily powerful antioxidant, maybe even more powerful than glutathione. What we have found through our studies is that this can increase the length of sleep more than 60%, in addition to the quality of the sleep. SP6, a lot of people think of this as for weight loss. It's actually a weight loss aid in that it helps people with their cravings. So you would use SP6 along with diet and exercise as part of an overall weight loss program, but it's used to get your cravings under control. Alavita is a product that elevates the peptide epithalamine. This is a pineal peptide, and it's used to reduce oxidative stress. So this actually improves the quality of the skin from the inside out. And of course, reducing oxidative stress has other numerous health benefits. And then finally, Nirvana is part of a system for elevating beta endorphins. And beta endorphins are feel-good hormones. In addition, they're very, very powerful at relieving pain. But interestingly enough, when you elevate beta endorphins, they trigger the production of collagen. So people that are using Nirvana for relaxation, to relieve anxiety, get the side benefit of reduction in the appearance of lines and wrinkles. So Emily, that is a overview of the patches and what they do.
Thank you for that, David. I know it's always nice when we have our deep dives into our products, but having just a basic overview generally of how all the patches work and the benefits is so helpful. So thank you so much for doing that for us. Really appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, I know that everyone is on this call, first and foremost, to hear from you. That we always love learning from you, but I know many people have specific questions they want to ask of you. So